Cordelia. I am a parkour athlete and coach, and I started the Facebook group called Leave No Trace, the Parkour Movement.
All right, we have a few questions for Cordelia. The first one is, what does Leave No Trace mean to you?
Yeah, so Leave No Trace, I mean, it's a pretty common phrase you hear from like camping, which is like just clean up and all that good stuff. I first heard about it from parkour jams about 8 years ago back in Seattle. When I first started training, they started doing what they called Leave No Trace jams, which was you would clean up the park before you would train. And that really helped them not only like do good things, but also build a really good relationship with the Parks and Rec of Seattle, which I know some parkour communities historically have some issues with, like their city, you know, being like, hey, get off of that, or signs or whatever. So I really think it's cool that movement of just, hey, park officials, we're gonna, you know, clean up the park, and just let them know, and they're like, okay, cool, go for it, do whatever you want,
right.
You know, just be safe and all that.
Kind of like a respectful aspect.
Yeah, so that's where I first heard about it. For me, Leave No Trace really extends more beyond just like cleaning, and more so just the idea of just taking care of the environment. I'm really big into taking care of your own body, whether that's strength training, nutrition, good sleep, but also things like clean air is an obvious thing for me. And so when I hear Leave No Trace, I think of it really as like kind of like on both a personal level and a global level of let's take care of the environment so that we can live better. And that seems like a pretty obvious thing for me that needs to be worked on.
Yeah.
Right answer.
Yeah, I agree. What do you think the average person can do to contribute to environmental conservation?
Yeah.
Yeah, pick that up.
So that's a hard one because, I mean, I definitely believe one of the best things people can do is really start getting interested in like their own body and how they can be like optimal as like a human. And like obviously for parkour, that's like, well, what's the coolest shit you can do is like really just, you know, if you're living here, why not do the coolest thing in the world? But also in order to be some high-level athlete or high-functioning human, you have to take care of your body. So really on a personal level, it's like, what can you do for yourself? But when it comes to like the environment as a whole, the reality is that things like recycling and like those personal level things do not have as big of an impact as corporations do. So I'm really big into like giving to nonprofits that are all about fighting those corporations that are just destroying the earth. Because oftentimes, like especially here in America, like sure we have trash and all that, but it's really what we do to third world countries that has the biggest impact on the earth. Like the ocean, and you know, the ocean's not a third world country, but like the ocean and like the rainforest, where the Amazon and all that. So I think on a bigger scale, that's just really important. Is keeping our, especially like I guess like our workplace too. Like I think we don't think about our own workplace as contributing. We think of like, well, that's like a separate entity to me, but people like go to their workplace sometimes more than they go to home.
Right.
And that's, you know,
That's awful.
Then I guess for the average person or even the audience that would be paying attention right now, I guess the average person, you could sum it up and say, you know, help these profit organizations or be more conscious in what you invest in or buy in the store, things of that nature, you think?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm big into, like organic is a really big example of, that didn't exist like, you know, 5-10 years ago. Now you see it everywhere, and now it's very like normal. So yeah, those like voting with your dollar is really important.
The final question, you kind of touched on this with your last answer, but I guess you could try to be more specific with it. Do you have any words that you could give current and future generations that would imply that they have a real reason to worry about their environment?
Yeah, for me it's definitely to be selfish. You know, like it's not like I don't know, just be selfish and really want to be the best you can be, because that's awesome. Like have an adventure with your life, do whatever you want to do with your life.
About it like that?
You know, like